like this mic is getting clicky on me, or this strap. Not hearing anything? That's a little better. Right there. Hear it? A little creaky. A little bit. A little creaky. Gonna work that. Oh, you know what might help that? Oh, you know what might? Hey, you hear that? Hold on. I tell you what'll help it. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but trust me, it works. Dry Glide, which is a powder. It's chalk, right? But you put that on there, and you don't get the creaks. It's creaking. My God, it's bad dumb. It's creaking. And put a little bit of the powder. Oh yeah. Okay. We put that there. All right. Like a newborn's ass. And it's gone. Science. Right? Yeah. What a difference. It's because this finish is so smooth. I get it a lot with lacquer. Yeah, I think that's working. And I'm not hearing the creaks. Oh. There we go. All right, who do we got here? We got Assad, rockin' Rob James, Deanna, how's it going? JP Bank, Big Keno, Mark Miller, WM Franz, Jeff White, Papa Blue, Yeti Masi, William Franz, Harbor Fireside Chat Studio. It's a Fireside Chat Studio. Gary Bertolo. We got Christopher. We got D-Mod. We got Zoot. We got Speaker. What's up, buddy? Exactly, my intern failed at my gear prep. What am I paying you nothing for? Well, the gate on the tone, I don't. Although, you know what? I think there is a master gate. I think there is a master gate. Let's check. Let's check gate. The old gate here. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Jesus. You know, when there's 3 buttons, when you get to the 3rd, there's a high probability that's the one. Yeah, I have the gate on, so it's off. It turns on at 79. Kind of where I have it. That's at 77. Remember that single coil. There's humbucker. I could probably set it to 79. It starts at 79.4. You're still going to get noise. That's as low as it goes. And it just goes up from there. All right, hold on. I gotta bring everybody back up. What? Oh. Where the hell did everybody go? Right there. Damn it. I don't like the way Windows like groups minimized items. Really is a pain in the ass. What's the weight on this guitar? I have no idea. I don't weigh the guitars really, but it's pretty light. 5-6 pounds, something like that. I'd be surprised if it was over 7, but it could be. I'm sure they have specs on their website. How many guitars did I sell for the new furnace? I know, right? You can tell it's back in because I'm wearing short sleeves again. Set of Duncan quarter pounders. The problem is that I don't think you're going to get quarter pounders in this thing because of the way they cut the, right, they cut the, it's straight. In other words, straight across. There's actually a tiny foot on most single coils. They don't go straight across like that. Now you could, I'm sure, get, oh, Jesus, I want to say, certainly I think EMGs are straight across. And maybe some lace sensors. There's a few ones out there, but a lot of them have a little bit of a foot to them. Right? There's a tiny foot in the front where the wires connect. And there's no space for that. Unless there's a slot cut in there where they're running the wires through, which I suppose is possible. Right, and you angle it in. But I don't think so. I think you need a straight cut pickup, and there's not a ton out there. So what I'm saying is I don't know that the quarter pounders would fit. Right? Any of these come with a floating ridge? I don't think so. Not that I know of. You'd have to check their website. And still got some styrofoam, like tiny bits on it. I don't know that they make another one like this. I don't know. Maybe they do, and they make a floating trem one as well. Suppose I could look up. It's funny, if you went to Darner Music, this is called the HLX-500, which is the new name. But it was called briefly the NHL, but they didn't want any trouble with the National Hockey League, so they just changed the name before they released it. But a lot of their website in the pre-promo stuff still said NHL. And they're like, it's not that, it's the NHL. It's like, it's not that. That is the old name. This is the new name, the HLX-500. Oop, hold on. I got the wrong. Let me get that right there. That good? We all good? Ugh. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Like that. There we go. You guys see that? Now it's pissing me off. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, no, that looks good. God. This is angering me. Actually, I could probably go down a hair. Yeah, like that. Into there, and then, yeah. That's a little better. HLX. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, God. Everything's zoomed 150%. There we go. Now you can see it. Yeah, I don't know that I don't think I've seen another one. We go to products who are in guitars. A lot of guitars. And the basses and the acoustic. I think that's it, bro. Nope. Does it come with a floating trim? No. No, it does not. There's the white. There's the black. Yeah. It's like that. Oh, hold on. I gotta move this. That's annoying me. You know, YouTube changed how they display the back stuff, and man, it makes me freaking mental. They just can't leave it alone. They're already giving me a friggin' ad about the ads. They're not calling them mid-roll ads anymore. Now they're calling them automated ads. It's not a mid-roll. It's automated. Okay, does that include mid-rolls? Oh, it's not an operation. The doctor said it's just a procedure. Yeah, I'd love to have Billy back on again. He's a great singer, and we know a lot of tunes between the two of us. It's just a matter of getting schedules. Man, it's so dry. Oh, we were friggin' muggy, and of course, the second I put the friggin' furnace in, the day before we put the furnace in, it was so frickin' cold here. That was Monday. Brutal. Frickin' brutal. You know, it's like single digits in the morning. It's like, come on. And then Tuesday got a little bit better. That was the day they put the furnace in. Then, of course, Wednesday, big warm-up. And like Thursday and Friday, it's like almost 60 degrees. It's like, of course. It cooled back off today. Dry again. A link to the axe. It's in the video. Go check the video. It's in the video. Exactly. Would you like to enable disruptive ads? No? Okay, we'll do it anyways. That's exactly what I'm facing. Yeah, Steinberger. Yeah, Steinberger if you wanted a floating trim. Exactly the best way to get no snow is to buy a new snowblower. That's pretty much how it works. So yeah, we had it was quite an eventful week. Obviously it was freezing cold on Monday, but they came Tuesday. So young dude showed up first. And he's there to kill the power and just start to dismantle it, right? Get it ready to be removed. And so I had cleared the whole area out. Man, that took a lot of work. to clear that whole space out. I had like a whole bunch of crap, not right in front of it because you want to be able to access it, but right next to it, which just makes a very tight space. So I had to get, you know, a whole bunch of crap out of there and give them, they needed to get open all the way to the wall too, which was even more work. Plus, that's right, the synth room, and I had my synths there and just out in the open. I said, well, you know, even if there's just an accident and they drop a wrench or something, I said, you know, you could see some damage. So I, like, they were against the wall, and there was a great beam, like, right there. And it was away from the piping they needed to get to. And I just used the staple gun, and I tacked up a moving blanket, which completely protected it, and I stapled it all in. And that worked freaking great. That was awesome. Even they said, we kind of appreciate you doing this because they don't want to break anything either. And then you got to take everything out, you know, get it all ready to, you know, to get removed. So he had kind of got, you know, pretty far along. And then the other dude shows up, and he's got the new one with him. So he takes the new one in, and he put it around the corner in the cellar. Then he used the two-wheeler to get the old one out. And then they spent a little time getting the new one in place. And they started to, you know, get it all reattached with everything. They had to put new air and flue pipes in because the code calls for a little larger now, 3-inch instead of 2.5-inch, I think. And if the run is so many feet, and they had to be marked, and the exhaust one has to be black now, so, and has to be designated as a flue so that people don't get injured somehow. So they had it all up to code and all that. And then well, they can disconnect the electrical, they're really not licensed to wire it up. It's kind of weird like that. So they hold on, I gotta move this slightly. Yeah, just like that. So they wound up they bring in a licensed electrician, this guy, and he just sat right there and took his time, and he actually put a whole new block in, a new double outlet and a new switch and everything all new. And then wired up the furnace and got everything running. And then he leaves, and right as he was walking out, another guy showed up, and he's a licensed pipe fitter that can do the gas pipes, you know, fully licensed to fit the gas pipes, because he had to make the new one didn't quite line up with the old one, so they had to make a little offset and connect it all up. And so he was here for the electrician was here for probably a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. And the pipe guy was probably here about 30 minutes getting it all set and done. And then that was it. They finally got it ready, and he was like, all right, here we go, let's try it. And he had to prime it a little bit and then fired it up, and oh my God, you miss that kind of heat. 100,000 BTUs. You're like, oh man, take the friggin' chill off this place. And it's a lot cheaper than, electric heat. Electric heat is relatively expensive compared to, although we have he was saying, he goes, like, I just know your town. He goes, compared to other towns in this area, it was one of the lowest for electricity. He goes, because we do the comparisons all the time. He said, but it's still much cheaper to go gas. He goes, it's not even close. So, I didn't make videos of the furnace. I'm trying to think if I took any shots of it. Let me see here. I don't know. Did I get the new one? Or the old one? Yeah. Oh, maybe. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? All right. Apparently I did. So there is the old furnace. That's the old one. You see how they have it up on bricks because, you know, well, what with the flooding and all. And there's the blanket. And this was a desk that was here. And I had to pull that out of the way and get all this crap out of here. Open the floor up. All right, hold on. Let me see what else I have here. Yeah, here. Hold on. Here's another. Again, this is the old furnace. Right there. There's the old one. Get everything out of there. Ready for a new furnace. All right. Hold on. What do I have? I can't believe I have this. Here's an action shot for you. There's the new furnace coming in. The guy walking it in the back door. And there's the old furnace ready to be taken out. Right there. All right, what else do I have for photos? Oh, yeah. There's the old furnace right there, the old hookup. And I had to sweep. I said, dude, I got to sweep under here before you put that there. I know, you know, it's covered, but I will know it's there. In fact, I almost wanted to paint it real quick, but I wasn't that much of a douchebag. I say, hold on, let me paint it real quick. And there is the new one in. That's the new one right there. Up on the bricks. It's got the new outlet. See, he had to do an offset on the gas to get the gas in. That was the pipe fitter guy. And it has these new, like, enormous, these are much bigger, and they have to be designated flue gas and all that. It looks angled, but it's not. It's definitely straight up and down. It's just the wide-angle lens is skewing it out. Which is why the gas pipe actually looks like, they look like they're going out like this. It's because of the friggin' wide-angle lens. Yeah. Here's another shot. This is the new one. Right there. And you can see they go up into much larger items up here. And this is my damper logic, because I have two zones. You see I have the dampers. This is one trunk, like this is trunk B and trunk A is over here. And then this works the two trunks back and forth. And that is it. He has got it in. The new. Now I will say it is slightly louder than the old one, not by much, but by just a tiny bit. And it's because the old one, the flame box was sealed. It had its own. It had its own separate, like, flame chamber that was buttoned up in there. And so that was an extra layer of noise insulation from the jets, the sound of the jets. Where this one is insulated, but it doesn't have that secondary insulation inside. But it's barely a difference. A couple of dB tops, you know. And I could have seen with the same one I had, which was the Infinity. So there's three levels. There's Infinity is the top, Performance is the middle, and Comfort is the bottom. I got the Performance, which is in the middle. Oh, it was also cheaper than I thought. So if you remember, I had a guy come out here a few weeks back who fixed it and did a great job fixing it. And I have no complaints with that guy. But he gave me a price of $10,500. Now, he lists the model number, right? And it's literally the same one that I got. It's like, I can see it's like the TP601 or whatever that. I'm just making that up, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there's the friggin' model, and you can just match it. It's literally the same model. He was quoting me for the identical model, but he wanted $10,500. And like I said, he goes, and sometimes I give out work to, like, some friends of mine, which is code for I don't do installs, I do repairs, and I have this other company do my installs for me. He was quoting me 10,500. This guy was quoting me 8,200, right? So it was actually 8,250, I think. So, you know, it's a good chunk of change off from the other one. But when we went to go check out, he goes, yeah, that's going to be 7,560. I was like, 7,560? He goes, yeah, you get a rebate. It's $700 off. So I think it was 8,260 and then a $700 instant rebate. He goes, so 7,560. I was like, dude, you should have put that in there. God, 7,560. That's awesome. I was over the friggin' moon. I was like, you know, we're going to get the full priced appetizers tonight. And, right, exactly, a $2,000 broker, right? Exactly. Because he's got to pay the other guy to install it, and he's just wetting his beak, just skimming off that thing. So I was like, no. You know, this guy who I hired, who was literally the guy who put in the original one from 2008, I hired his dad. He was here with his younger brother doing it with him. And, you know, he branched off on his own. His dad retired. He's got his own place now. And so he's just way, way better. I was so friggin' happy, though, with that. Now I was almost kind of curious because they had the same rebate if you got the Infinity. How much more is the Infinity? You know, is it $1,000 more? Is it $2,000 more? I don't even know. So, would have been, you know, probably could have been worth it just to inquire and say, well, how much for the Infinity system, you know? But whatever. He basically said, listen, the reason why you don't want the Infinity is because, one, you never bought the board. He goes, it takes a separate logic board for the Infinity system to really work the way it's supposed to with a pulse code modulation fan that's a variable speed fan. He goes, the one you have is, instead of PCM, it's 27 levels. Most people can live with 27 levels. I was like, point taken. And he goes, the other one is like PCM, right? He goes, so it's like infinite. That's why they call it Infinity. It's got infinite levels of fan speed. And it can go up and go down. It can run when it thinks it should just run and move a little bit of air through. It's got logic on its own. He goes, but to get that to happen, you had to drop $1,000 on the Infinity logic board, something you never did. He said, and you would need the Infinity thermostats. He goes, those are $500 each. He goes, so between $1,000 on the logic board and another $1,000, he goes, they're really kind of like $550, like $1,100 on the thermostats. He goes, to unlock the features of the Infinity, he goes, unless you're staying here forever, just get the performance. He goes, which is how your system's running now anyway, because even though you have the Infinity, it's running like a 3-stage. He said they don't even make 3-stage anymore. He said they're all 2-stage now. He said, so you're like missing out on nothing unless you dropped like all that extra on those side things, which I didn't want to do. So he made it, you know, he laid it out. Yeah, PCM, PWM, right? Pulse wave, not pulse code, pulse wave. Pulse wave bump, PWM. Listen, there's too many acronyms, okay? Yeah, pulse width modulation, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. It's been, what a difference. Oh my God, taking the chill off this friggin' house is brutal. It is friggin' brutal because you've got to put, and then the other thing is you have to really think about it. And I had the strict rule. I said, this is not safe heat. So I sort of had a rule, we can't leave the house. Somebody has to be home at all times because it's freaking, you know, it's dangerous. We need someone to be able to, you know, open the doors to let the cats out to safety and call the freaking fire department. I said, because, you know, it's dangerous. So you feel a lot better about having a real furnace that has all the safety protocols in place. Definitely agree why I spend that extra money. Yeah, it did feel like a little too much. And like my wife said, she's like, I'm so over this house. She goes, I'd love to move away from, get a little bit more suburban, because we're a little bit more urban, right? Where it's pretty dense around here. There's no giant lots of land. And if there are, they're very, very expensive to get a big plot of land around here. So you gotta move away. You gotta get outside of the city, farther away from the greater Boston area. Dude, those space heaters cost me like $600 for 8 weeks of no furnace. Yeah, I am sure. Plus, a lot of agita about potentially having a fire, and you don't want to have two on the same line. So I'm going through and I'm like working the lines back, going, okay, well, this line, okay, we have one on that line, we have one on this line. It's like I'm literally spreading them out over the breaker box because I don't want two on the same friggin' line coming down. It's a friggin' nightmare. You've been told you're pretty dense too. You're not sure what it means. It just means you're like wicked smart. Did you guys catch the Christmas tune this week? I was pretty happy with it by the time I got to the end. It took a long time to finally get it together, but I was pretty happy with the results, for the most part. Got a DJ question. It said DJ Spyware Wire apps available in the App Store for Apple. Well, because they are available in the App Store, and that's fine. They weren't for Android. Android, they had a side load, but I think Google is changing those requirements, and now they're going to force it to be. You have to go through the store. They're not going to allow side loading any longer. We'll see how that goes, but I think Google's going to do what Apple does and forces it through the store. Although, I think the EU is trying to force it so you can have other stores. So if you're in Europe, they might force you to sideload because they can. They'd rather not have the scrutiny. It's none of your business what we're mining out of your phone. And they're so funny about how they're like, and it only works on phones. Even though I did mine with a tablet that had no phone connection whatsoever. It's just complete bullshit. They're like adamant, do not use the software on anything else but a phone, because that's where all the juiciest data resides. Yeah, you liked it? Yeah. No, it escalates quickly. That's from the Steel Panther Academy of Songcraft and other cool shit. Who made you use the chorus? The funny thing is I had been using it with the chorus, which is, I think, the tri-chorus, right, in there. And I had moved away, and I said, you know what? It doesn't sound as good. Because I thought it was a little over the top, but when I went and I played it with other, patches that I had, I said, geez, it kind of sounds a little wimpy. Kind of sounds a little weak. And I just kept going back to it, and I just said, just give in. Just use the damn chorus. Oh, Tony. Oh, turned 60 on the 20th yesterday. Yeah, I'm turning 60 in March. Wife unknown, we got the perfect gift. The Helix Stadium XL. Oh, dude, look at you. That's nice. For my birthday, bought myself a ride-on mower for her, too. Yeah, now. Nice. 3 hours of less pushing the heavy mower is a game changer. Yeah, absolutely. If I had a bigger yard, I would definitely own a ride-on mower. My yard is so small, I just can't justify it. I'd be off that mower in about 4 minutes. Exactly. You can't harvest the SMN and contact information from a tablet. No, seriously, it is, it's pretty brutal. Did I have that? I probably don't. Can I search? Did I put it here? No. No. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have it. No. No, it's not there. Oh, wait, let me, if it reads it. No. No, it's not there. It's not there. Oh, well. I thought I'd see if I had. There was a statement by Apple about what Facebook wanted, and it was crazy. They're like, even though they could show no relationship to the app, they wanted like every app you used, when you used it, and for how long you used it. Every single one of your photos, a complete call log of every calls received and made. Of course, all your contacts. Apple's been giving that shit away for years. Since pretty much the start of the App Store, they've been giving away contacts. Location information. It's like you didn't tell them where you worked, but they saw the building you drove to every day. They figure it out. You know, you didn't tell them what you like for coffee, but they see where you stop. You like the Starbucks, do you? Okay, good to know. Good to know. We're painting a picture of you. We're putting it together, a profile, if you will, that we can sell to people. You know. What brand is this? This is a Donner. This is the HLX-500. You have a self-propelled push mower? You know, I have a non-self-propelled push mower. I was too cheap. I wanted the Honda engine, though, and I gotta say, it's been a frickin' one-start workhorse for about 5 years now. It's been pretty damn good. You know, I used to get Craftsman all the time. I'd always go down and buy a Craftsman mower, but this last time around, you know what? It actually might be a Craftsman, but it's a Honda engine instead of a Briggs & Stratton. And no self-propel. Because, my lawn is so small. Gives you a little bit of a workout, too. Did my thermostat come with a smartphone controllable thermostat? It did not, but they checked it while they were here. They actually pulled the thermostat off upstairs and checked the wiring. And he said, he goes, you could use, he recommended the Ecobee. He's like, Carrier owns them, and so they're particularly suited to work with each other. And he said I could get a rebate that will take it from like $350 to like $25. He goes, it's like an instant rebate if you buy it online. But I was having, he goes, through Mass Save, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the friggin' Mass Save. Speaking of not finding it, you know what I couldn't find today? The football game. because my friggin' carrier is in a dispute with the frickin' Fox carrier, which isn't Fox. It's the local carrier, which is, I want to say, it's whoever owns WFXT, because they have the exclusive regional to bring Fox as a channel here. And they're in a fight because I'm sure their news business is in the shitter, and they need a revenue source. So they're trying to get it out of the cable companies, and they're in a big fight with Verizon. So I got no football. Thank God the friggin' tomorrow night's game is on NBC. Oh. I haven't talked about Rob Reiner. It's too sad. The day I heard about that, I had just watched both Spinal Tap and Spinal Tap 2. And I felt I had sort of hung out the whole day with the guy, right? It's like back-to-back movies have been playing him on HBO. And then I got the news, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, just, oh, what a gut punch. The poor dude. You know? Over the air, yeah, that's what where I can do that. I have a couple of, I have an over-the-air in the attic. I can watch it in the attic over the air. That has an over-the-air receiver hooked up. And in the basement, I have a small TV over in the synth room, and that has an over-the-air. So I have two over-the-air, but the other ones are sort of hooked up to cable, and it's a pain in the ass to switch to over-the-air. I suppose I could go try and find an antenna to plug into it, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass. You're still getting the Providence feed. See, you're close enough to be in multiple markets. I'm just straight up Boston feed because I'm too close to the city. But you're close enough to both markets that you can get both markets. Where I'm not, which kind of sucks. Hunter's the way you go now to try to get Makita. Yeah, you know what? On the tools, I tend to go Harbor Freight and pretty cheap. Try to keep them disposable. You know, if it breaks, just go get another one. Oh my God! If Boston doesn't get if they don't solve this between a Fox football game with there's going to be, torches and pitchforks. Where's my goddamn Pats game? It's gonna get ugly. Oh man, we have some new people. Who do we have here? Oh my God. Jeffrey White. NPL 175. All Grain Brewer. David McGuff? C.J. Watson Jr. LZG. Scooter Hawk 8449. Michael D. 8393. D'Anthony 6258. RKABRX. Y'all need easier names for me to shame on. Welcome. Do I have the shame song somewhere? Just hit. Exactly. None more shamed. So I was really loving Spinal Tap. I had finally caught the second version, which I liked. It's not quite as strong as the first, but the first is so iconic. It's hard to live up to that. Oh yeah, no, we don't fool around with double bass. I'll joke around with a lot of things, but not double bass. Oh yeah, made a pork wine yesterday, huh? Nice. Worked out, that's good. Kansas City. I'm not upset that the Chiefs are out, yeah. If we lose this weekend, we're still in it, but it's going to change the vibe around the team because they're on a heater for so long. There's a fight right now going on the field. Yeah, a lot of death references in two, but I think they're kind of joking about how old they were. That was sort of the point of that. And then of course about how no one wanted to drum for them because all their other drummers were, died in mysterious ways. Oh, really? 3 penalties, man. Really a huge fourth quarter cry, man. I'll have to catch the lowlights later. Man, I still got... Can you see it there? I still got that freaking blood vessel down there, man. It is freaking killing me. Yeah, that's right. They had tap water. He's like, so this is some special water? They're like, no, it's literally tap water. Okay, tap water. Oh, yeah, that was good. And the cheese, guitars and cheese. And he had a pretty smoking guitar that had the cheese compartment in it. You never know when you might need a little bit of brie. Have I tried the neural amp modeling software? I think I maybe did. I forget which one it was, but I only had like a demo. It didn't last for very long. But I never got a copy. Maybe I'll try and reach out to them. I think they're going to be at NAMM this year. And I've been sort of getting that all straightened out. That's my next big thing, is the NAMM show. Spinal Tap 2 right now is on HBO Max and HBO. I've been catching it on HBO. little out of tune. Special teams coordinator. I can't. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's you know, it's a tough. You know, is this working? Yeah, and the second one, Nigel drives David St. Hubbins a little crazy with his massive effects board. I'm kind of with David St. Hubbins on that one. You know, he's got all these crazy effects, and he keeps turning on. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What? This is now, man." Okay. Actually, it's a pretty easy guitar to tune because it has the got the tuners down there. The tuners, right there. The tuners. Pretty easy. Yeah, I saw that Triumph with Phil X on second lead guitar. As I understand it, I don't know that the original members are going to be full-on touring with them. I think they're going to be Zoom calling in. I think it's going to be Phil X and like some young guns out there. And by young, I mean like my age. Phil X is younger than me, but only by 2 days. I think that Rick and them are literally going to Zoom call it in. Yeah, it's a 0. It is a 0 fret. It's not a Sustainiac. He's got like a Miku, right? Or something that sounds kind of like a Miku. Like one of those world's most frigging annoying and useless frigging effects. You know, wah, 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 wah. He's like, what the hell is that? He's like, what? Oh. So I don't want to say who it is, but I did get a wonderful, nice DM from a pretty famous guitar player who was like, dude, man, I love your videos. I love your playing. I'm like, me? He's like, yeah. He was asking me about THU. He's kind of on sale. And I was like, dude, I mean, I could probably get it for you for free. He's like, no. He's like, I'm kind of under agreement with a bunch of different companies and I don't want any crap. I'll just buy it and quietly use it. I said, well, I'll send you my patch bank. You know, let me know when you get it. And I was like, are you going to be at NAMM? And he's like, no, I'm on tour. I was like, okay, understood. Okay, cool. But I don't want to say who it is, but I was like, makes a man feel damn good. Damn good. There'll be a second drummer and a second bassist. Not sure if but Rick is going to be there for sure. Is he going to be out and up there? And is he just going to come out for a few tunes? Because I could have sworn he had a post like, we're too old to be going out there every night. And I was like, well, that sounds like he's not going to be out there. Like maybe on select gigs, they're going to be a special guest, which is kind of sounds weird. 60. So that's the humbucker. Now remember, I'm in front of a computer. I move away from the computer. It's not so bad. That's noiseless because it's 2 pickups. That's single coil again. That's a humbucker and a single coil. And then a humbucker. So 2 humbuckers, 2 single coils, and 1 like triple coil. Give you a hint? Well, I think everyone would say if I said who it was. Well, he's pretty good. No, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Pretty good. But I was like, holy shit. If he wasn't friggin' verified, I was like, oh no, that's him. It's freaking blue check mark. It's hundreds of thousands of freaking followers. I was like, oh no, that's him. That's really him. That's nice. Thanks, bro. Love it. But I'll say this, I wish I could play like that dude. He's quite the player. Me, I'm just a tribute. So let's go. I'd like to talk about the. Let me just call up Suno here. Oh Jesus! What am I? Is it on my foot? It's on my foot. It's on me foot. Where is it? Right here. We'll call this up. We will call this up. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the Christmas song. So the Christmas song, I'm not gonna lie, was a goddamn frustrating mess for a long period of time. I kind of knew what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted at first, but I sort of worked, my way towards it. Right. It's just one of those things where I said, you got to write a Christmas song. Come up with a Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, I was really happy with how it came out. I loved the final product. I really did. Even with that crazy chorus. I was a big fan of the final product. But it took a long time to get there. So I said, well, come up with a song about Christmas, right? Now, I had already done the rap song about losing one's car keys and the 70s funk song about unable to open a pickle jar. And so I said, let me tap into a common frustration. And I came up with, you're at a store or at a mall and that you can't find a parking spot, right? Although the more I thought about it, I was like, does anyone even go out and freaking shop in their car anymore? But anyway, I sort of went with, this is where it started. And I said, to give it a frantic feel, I said, make the song in ska style, right? because ska is very upbeat, right? Very upbeat, very fast, give a frantic feel. And it came up with this. Which at first that was fine. I'm like, I love it. Then it goes to halftime. And I immediately fall asleep. I'm like, no. What the hell is this? What? No. Where's my fast beat? No place to park, no room for me. I'm a sailor lost in a concrete sea. No place to park, no yellow line. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I'm wasting time, all right. So I am just like, okay, huge fail. I don't like the product. So I come up with a funky, I write the title of the song, Funky Ass Christmas. Write a song called The Funky Ass Christmas and make that a part of the chorus and make it in a 70s funk style. And it comes up with this. Which you got to admit is that's 70s funk all day. Snow ain't falling, but the funk's on deck. Ooh, yeah. Got a reindeer groove and a sleigh bell check. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry. I kind of like, I was like, okay, I could work with this, you know, but it was still a little too cutesy. This is, okay. I mean, I could have worked with this. Candy canes. Right? Not bad. A funky ass Christmas. Everybody shine. Everybody shine. Elsa's dancing. Making toys. Shake it, Mrs. Claus. I mean, that is pretty much Tower of Power, okay? Sir, we have the management for Tower of Power on the line for you. Right? Yeah, my God, sir, right, Tower of Power, right? Yeah, right? Tower of Power all friggin' day. That's the immediate, I'm with you. Buzz Wilson, hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm with you, dude. So then I say, okay, why don't you do it? But instead of doing a 70s style funk, which those first two were, I changed the word 70s style funk to modern funk. And it gives me this. Go. Sir, we have the lawyers for Bruno Mars on the line for you. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, you know, it's okay. Well, I was like, I need something funnier than that. So I come up with, I said, oh wait, I'm having a freaking brainstorm here. What about somebody stole the Christmas tree? So here is someone stole the Christmas tree. Takes a hard turn.
The snow fell quiet in the dark of night. The stars were winking like they knew the fight. I woke to silence, but something felt wrong. The tree was missing. Where had it gone? Tinsel trails lead out the door.
Fucking snore fest. Right? Oh, total friggin' snore fest. So I'm like, okay. I said, how about you're getting nothing for Christmas? And write it about a person who you're going to give them nothing for Christmas because they were, you know, a terrible shit all year long. And I was like, it comes up with this. This is the original. You want to talk about a friggin' movement here? This is the original. You're getting nothing for Christmas.
Snow is falling on the ground so white. Twinkling lights in the quiet night. But you've been naughty all year long. Don't try to tell me I'm wrong. You're getting nothing for Christmas. No shiny box, no sweet caress.
No shiny box, no sweet caress. What the fuck are you talking about? Again, kind of lost me. But I like the premise of it. About how, because it basically says, like, you know, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, I borrowed money, which is where I got that. I kind of got the inspiration, but they don't say it the way I wrote it, right? So, but the concept is there. And I said, okay, let me just take this. I kind of like what they're doing. Let me just punch the script up a little bit. So I do it, and I wind up getting, where is it? There was a lot. I'm like literally looking through dozens right now. I wind up going with, is it this one? No. Oh, it might have been. Is it that one? But it's a little too doo-woppy for me.
Snow is falling on the ground so white. Twinkling lights in the quiet night. But you've been naughty all year long and can never admit when you were wrong.
Right.
Left your dishes in the sink again.
These are with my lyrics.
Borrowed money from all your friends.
So it says all your friends. I changed that later to all my friends because I felt like it was worse. Right? You'll see that. I'll say something, but later on I make a little change in it because I think it's a little worse. Right? So I get that one. So it all starts. I'm just not happy with that. I'm like, it's just like, it's too, I don't know, it's just not hitting me, right? I just don't like it. It's too doo-woppy, it's too 50s, it's not what I want. So I come up with, I say, I plug the lyrics in again, and again, I've tweaked the lyrics a tiny bit, and I say, give it to me in an alt-rock style. Alt-rock. And it comes up with this.
Snow is falling on the ground so white, twinkling lights in the quiet night. But you've been naughty all year long and can never admit when you were wrong. Left your dishes in the sink again, borrowed money from all your friends. You ate my food, you drank my wine, but then you act like it's all fine. I'm not bitter, just keeping score.
It's pretty good. My third favorite.
And because shopping's such a chore, you're getting nothing for Christmas. No stockings,
Come
no
on.
not even cold. You're getting nothing for Christmas.
I really liked it.
You returned my car with an empty tank. You left my bathroom with an awful stink. You drunkenly killed the neighbor's dog.
It's just not my style, which is why I didn't go with it. But I thought it was freaking great.
You ran a scam on the elderly. You never have an ounce of
Right?
shame or believe you are the one to blame. You might be beautiful, but you're a whore, sleeping around with my friends and more. And of course, shopping is such a chore. So you're getting nothing for Christmas.
I added that little so in the second one. Little production notes, man. And of course, I'm working back from the word chore, which is why I have to put whore and more, right?
You embezzled from a charity and tried to pin that shit on me. You really were the worst this year.
Break it down, bro.
You would ever care. You're getting nothing for Christmas. Just a laugh with a little sneer. You're getting nothing for Christmas. You
Fuck
should
yeah.
remember this next year.
Right? Because he sounds angry. He sounds pissed off, and that's what makes it work, right? Emotional, angst-ridden. Kind of works. Right? Right? Kind of works. So that's like my third favorite. My favorite is, of course, the one I released. This is. Let me play you my second favorite. That one. So I'm narrowing the lyrics down. Right. I really like how those lyrics are flowing. I'm really happy with that at that point. I make some minor changes, but I'm pretty happy with it at this point. I just want. So I was trying to change like a couple of little lyrics, and man, that singer could not friggin' do it. And I went through this. I probably did. I'm not even exaggerating. Between the alt rock version and the soul rock version, which is the one I ultimately went with, I probably did 250 variations. And I'm like, and it still can't get it right. Like, oh my God, making me freaking mental. Now in a year, that'll probably be a lot better. But for right now, it's a goddamn frustrating mess. Because you're listening to it and you're like, oh my God, you're so close. Right now, if you were a producer, you could go in and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut this in like right here. But I can't do this. All I can do is give it some guidance and roll the goddamn dice again and see how it comes out, which is exactly what I was doing. So I'm going to give you, this to me, this was my second favorite. It's the pop version. You're going to notice the lyrics are a little bit different because, again, I'm still sort of refining the lyrics. But there was just something about this version. It just really connected with me. I kept going back to it. This was almost the one I released, but there's not enough guitar in it. It's really not guitar oriented. And I really like sort of the anger of the alt guy and the soul rock guy. Right, who seems to be coming from, a more hurt place, whereas the pop one seems to be coming from a more snark place, right? This is the pop one.
Snow is falling on the ground so white, twinkling lights in the quiet night.
My friend said it's the anti-Mariah.
And can never admit when you are wrong. Left your dishes in the sink again. Borrow money from all your friends. You ate my food, you drank my wine, but then you act like it's all fine. I'm not bitter, just keeping score. Cold's too good for what's in store. And shopping is such a chore. You get nothing for Christmas. No stocking stuffer's not even cold.
Beautiful.
You get nothing for Christmas. Just
Simple lines intertwining.
You returned my car with an empty tank. You left my bathroom with an awful stank. You drunkenly killed the neighbor's dog. Drove over him making your TikTok vlog. You punched out a young maitre d'. You ran a scam on the elderly. You never have an ounce of shame or believe you are the one to blame. You might be beautiful, but you're a whore. Sleeping around with my friends and more. And shopping is such a chore. So you get nothing for Christmas. I'm glad I got this off my chest. You get nothing for Christmas. Just perhaps your immediate arrest. You embezzled from a charity and tried to pin that shit on me. You really were the worst this year. Not that you would ever care. You get nothing for Christmas. Just a laugh with a little sneer. You get nothing for Christmas. You should remember this next year. You should remember this next year. Hey, baby, the cops are here.
I mean, come on. Oh, God, I really... Put me down. Put me down as a fan. And then, of course, the final one, which I actually changed the guitars around. So I have to get the final output here. Oh, where is this one here? Is it there? And I changed remember this next year to you're getting even less next year. And I like this vocalist.
Snow is falling on the ground so white. Twinkling lights in the quiet night. I'm here to write you a Christmas.
I'm not in the right tuning. This is in E flat.
All year long. Left your dishes in the sink again. Borrow money from all my friends. You ate my food, you drank my wine. But then you act like it's all fine. I'm not bitter, just keeping score. Cold's too good for what's in store. And shopping is such a chore. You get nothing for Christmas.
Again, a little bit more guitar oriented. I can't do a K-pop in E flat. This is an E. I gotta tune down a half step. I'm a half step above, not below. So.
You return my car with an empty tank. You left my bathroom
E flat,
with an
A
awful
flat.
stank. You accidentally killed my family's dog. Drove over him making your TikTok vlog.
which is just a 1-6-4. Pretty common progression.
You are beautiful, but you're a whore. Sleeping around with my friends and more. And shopping is such a chore. So you get nothing for Christmas. I'm glad I got this off my chest.
Again, I was so happy writing that line.
You get nothing for Christmas. Just perhaps your immediate rest.
And then the big.
You embezzled from a charity and tried to pin that shit on me. You really were the worst this year. Not that you would ever care. You'll get nothing for Christmas. Just a laugh with a little sneer. You get nothing for Christmas, and even less next year. Hey, even less next year. Even less next year.
Love the singer at the end. Then a little. Then it goes. It's hard to figure out how to end it, but I wanted to end it with guitar. You know, it's like, how do you end this? How do we land this plane? Right? It's like you're all going, but you got to end it somehow. Of course, I'm a half step higher. This was the right one to pick out of all of them. I think so, because the guitars totally worked with it. You know, I had a better feel for the song than I did, say, the alt rock one, and the pop one it would feel out of place. I'd be playing distorted guitar. It just wouldn't be right. But I thought the pop one was good. That was my second favorite, and that alt rock one was my third favorite. Those are my top three, and for a while there, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to do the alt-rock one. And I was like, am I, though? And then I really was so into the pop one, I said, yeah, but you can't use this one. It's just not you. It's not going to feel authentic. And so what I wound up doing is I had done a soul one. Do I have that soul one I can play? And I basically made a cover of the soul one. And that's when it started to get way more interesting. Do I have that original? I've been clearing them all out because, my God, literally I did 380, according to this, I did 382 versions. Not going to lie, that's a lot of versions. Let me see if I can find this. Where's that? Is it in here? Was it this one?
The snow is falling on the ground so white. Twinkling lights.
Too slow.
in the quiet night.
And what's up with these doubled vocals? That is one thing that kept showing up that kept pissing me off. Listen to the, I'm going to play it again. Listen to the vocals on this.
The snow is falling on the ground so white.
That sounds like two vocals at the same time.
Twinkling lights in the quiet night.
And then single for a second there, and then back to doubling
You've
again.
been naughty all year long.
The hell was that?
Can't admit when you are
again, put me to sleep.
Left your dishes in the sink again.
A little whiny. And so again, I was like, oh, I mean, it's there, but it's not there. I kept going back. I was like, no. No. And, you know, again, I finally got the one I wanted. And I said, just stick with this one. It's got the best vocal performance of all of them. And then I just had to bring it down and put it in, I put it in Reaper, right? I broke all the tracks apart in Suno, downloaded all the tracks as individual files, and then pulled it into Suno, and then added my track, and didn't get rid of, but really lowered the other guitar tracks, so mine was by far the more dominant one, you know? But I didn't want to get rid of it completely, because I felt like when I did, it was almost a little too naked, right? It needed a little bit more going on. And so I just reduced it. I probably dropped it by 10 dB. So you can still hear it behind it, but it's not nearly as prominent as my track. Yeah, right. The singer just sort of ruins it, right? It's just like, I think they're going for, in the night, right? Where they used to do that old doubling, right? That was an old Motown trick. It was, I'm sure, cutting edge at the time. Oh, geez, Tony. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks for all the entertainment this year, dude. Are you going to break out the Les Paul Custom? I broke out my Alpine White for the play along. You want me to break out are you asking me to break out the Les Paul Custom right now? Okay. For you? Yes. Not gonna lie, they have the world's smallest friggin' strap buttons, and this guitar makes me a little nervous. Just a oh, oh, my stars. All right, now do I have this pick on right? Yeah, hold on. My fingers are just a little greasy. Okay. I gotta tune this up. Hold on a sec here. Yeah. That's working. All right, I gotta go back here. That has to go down. Mm-hmm. If anything, the action on this is a little low for me. So I can still bend. Usually when it's really low, I can't even bend. Because you can't get your finger under the string next to it. Oh no, it's oh no, they're nice. They're nice. We can debate whether it's $5,500 nice, but it's definitely nice. If you, so I looked up the, let me see if I can find it. I looked up the price of a Les Paul Custom in 1982. And in 1982, a brand new Les Paul Custom from Guitar Trader in New Jersey, because I have their flyer. May 82, price is good for this month. The price was $715. In 2025, that'd be $2,400. But this is $5,500. Let's say you went by the list price. The list price at $715, the list price was actually $1,210. I'm going to plug in $1,210. That would be about $4,064. I could even live with the $4,000. Right? It'd be sort of staying with the rate of inflation. But they're $5,500. So they've definitely sort of way outstripped inflation. And, you know, the other thing I noticed when, you know, playing this for Guitar of the Week versus, say, the Epiphone, you know, inspired by Gibson, they're 99% the same guitar. They really are. They weigh about the same. That friggin' Epiphone was friggin' super heavy. Had an ebony fretboard. It had real mother pearl inlays. It had Gibson pickups. It had Grover tuners. I mean, it's kind of very much the same guitar, but it's $4,000 less. That's just something to think about. Really? 10,000? Really? Oh my God. I like the neck on this better than my SG, though. It's smaller. And it's kind of like, I forget what they call it. They call it the custom neck. I don't know if it's supposed to be asymmetrical or what, but some people say, no, it's just the slim taper. It's the same as your Les Paul Classic. But I feel like I'd have to really get them side by side. I feel like the Les Paul Classic is even a touch thinner. Maybe not down here, but maybe up here, like it balloons a little faster. But I'd have to go side by side and see. The SG is definitely plumpier, without a doubt. It is a cool looking guitar. It is heavy though. I mean, especially coming off of that, especially coming off of the, the headless there. The time to buy a Les Paul Custom would have been the late 80s. Because they were so freaking out of fashion, nobody wanted them. And I know a dude, he said he sold his Les Paul Custom for like, you could buy him in the late 80s for $350. Right? And he said, he sold it for just a few $100s. He said, totally regretted it. I'm like, yeah, well, that was like literally the word. Everybody wanted a Super Strat. And the Les Paul was so out of fashion. Looked like some old, prior generation guitar. And what happened was Slash kind of single-handedly kind of revived the look, making it sort of in vogue again. And then you saw more and more Les Paul players sort of emerge throughout the 90s and into the 2000s. But I'd say that dude almost single-handedly sort of revived the Les Paul, as the, the shape to want to be. Because, guitar is 90% a fashion accessory. As R.J. Ronquillo said, maybe 99%. Yeah. No, you couldn't give these friggin' things away. Nobody wanted it. They were completely out of fashion. What are you, Peter Frampton? In 1988? Get out of here. But yeah, no, I would say Slash almost single-handedly sort of revived it. And then you remember, Zeppelin had the comeback a little bit. They played the big show in 2007, wasn't that right? The big Celebration Day show. And so like little by little, you'd see them out there more and more. You'd see more and more players, guys like Joe Bonamassa, who gets famous. I'd say he really blows up around 2009, 2010. Even though he had been around for 10 years, he really gets going then. Certainly that's when he really started showing up on my radar. And it kind of, someone just mentioned Randy Rhoads. Kind of felt like it died with Randy. right? And then there was sort of a lull. I'm trying to think of who in the 80s played a Les Paul Custom. Nobody really. J.J. French, maybe? You know, I think the guy, Tom Kiefer, was he playing a Les Paul Custom? I think there were a couple of guys, but it felt like they were going for a retro look. Look at you being all retro, right? If you wanted to be, like, current, you had a Super Strat, period. Oh, especially with a Floyd Rose, you know, with some sort of locking trem. It was all about hot rods, not, you know, comfort vehicles. And so, yeah, you know, it's just so funny how the fashion industry goes. It really is very much a fashion-driven, you know, market. Just going to say Page. Yeah, you know, Page, you know, they had that little bit of a comeback there. You know, sort of brought it back out into light. I mean, certainly Page, the reason why I would want to play a Les Paul would be probably number 1 Jimmy Page and number 2 Randy Rhoads. You know, but Jimmy Page was the guy that I was really, you know. And then later on, Zakk Wylde, right? He was a guy who certainly, but I feel like Zakk was right around the time Slash was coming out. And for as much success as Ozzy was having, he wasn't quite having the absolute skyrocketing success that Guns N' Roses had. Right? They were on a fucking meteoric rise. Like, you haven't seen, you know, we wouldn't see that again until Nirvana, which was the anti-Les Paul. Yeah. Oh, and Buckethead. Yeah, sure, Buckethead. Another one. You know, and yeah, and John Sykes. Yeah, Sykes. He's a... Yeah, and for a minute, Jeff Beck with Blow by Blow. Yeah. Though I feel like he was playing the Oxblood Standard, right? Isn't that what it's called? It's like a super dark brown, but it looks black on the album cover. Yeah. That was always a classic look. You know? It actually feels very similar to the Les Paul Classic. You know, I'd have to get them side by side, but I feel like the neck is almost the same. Bobby happened to come by and check it out, and he was like, "I really like that." He's like, "I think this neck is better than the SG." I'm like, "Right?" He's like, "I think so." I said, "Yeah, I think it's a little slimmer. It's not so. It's like it's a little bit rounder on the SG, a little bit plumper rump, a little plumpy rumpy versus this, you know." Joe Walsh too, but all you got to do is look at that auction for Joe Walsh. Man, he was a Strat guy, huh? My God. Strats to Les Pauls seems to like be 100 to 1. And there's a lot of parts casters too. Unbelievable. But like he said, he goes, you know, I've got guitars like all over the place. He goes, it's too much. So he's having a big friggin' auction. Yeah, see, I always associated Billy Gibbons with the SG more than the Les Paul. You know, certainly the Les Paul Standard. But, you know, he's been playing that SG for so many years now. That and, of course, the Explorer. I also think of the Explorer when I think of him. Yeah, Tom Schultz, he had the gold top. Yeah. Ace Frehley. So I would say in terms of like the Les Paul Custom, I really liked it at the very end. He moved away from the sunburst in a lot of the photo shoots and a lot of the stage work. And he had moved to a black with cream pickups and cream pickup rings, right? And he had gone to a, it kind of looked like, it was a triple pickup and it kind of looked like his sunburst, but he went to a black. And I remember really liking that. So Ace Frehley, in terms of like inspiring me, I can't believe I forgot Ace Frehley, but yeah, Ace Frehley, absolutely. Randy Rhoads, Ace Frehley, Jimmy Page, right? Those are the three guys that really influenced me in terms of like wanting to own a Les Paul, you know? It's supposed to look and sound great, but never get one because of the weight. Yeah, this is heavy. This is 10.3 pounds, and that's with 9 holes of weight relief. So it's on the heavier side, you know. Oh my God, Al Di Meola. But see, I wasn't a huge Al fan. You know, I didn't listen to a ton of Al, but I knew some Al, and I think I had one Al Di Meola album, but I wasn't a huge. I was way more into Larry Carlton. You know, who, for the most part, was playing somewhere in between either an ES-335 or he really got into those Valley Arts guitars, right? Kind of like what Lukather did, right? All those Cali guys were all going Valley Arts. Alex Lifeson went through a Les Paul phase for a while, the Axis, right? And I think he was with PRS. This guitar is heavy. Snow is blowing on the ground so white. Swinging lights in the quiet night. Like I was telling my wife, I said, if any of these Suno singers were in a band, it would just be a matter of time before they said, you know what? I'm more talented than all you losers. I'm going solo. Bye. I can just hire somebody. Because singing is the hardest of all the, all the instruments. You either can sing or you can't, and doesn't stop people from going up there and doing it. But, yeah, it's pretty rare. There's very few, like, really top-tier singers. That's where Suno really comes in. Yeah, Aldo Nova. Gotta watch out when you bends. Shorter scale. Here she goes. Thought I heard something. How's the furnace? Furnace has been friggin' awesome. What a difference when you substitute 6 space heaters for 100,000 BTUs of central forced air. Think things get warmer. Like, damn. Oh, how I miss thee. It did take about 24 hours before everything really warmed up, though. Because if you put the heat up too high, it's just stifling. But, you know, you're heating the air, and then the air is warming the objects. Then you're heating the air. That's why radiant heat is kind of better. The best of both worlds would be central air, but with radiant heat, right? Either baseboard or under the floor. But under the floor can be a nightmare. You'd want to go baseboard. Baseboard, what do they call that? Hydronic, right? Hydronic. So, you know, some sort of, not steam, but like, you'd, instead of a furnace, you'd have a boiler. Right? So if water is distributing the heat, you have a boiler. If air is distributing the heat, you have a furnace. Calcutta, she doesn't have a uterus, so highly unlikely she's pregnant. She might, though, be chonking up a little bit. Cutie's gotten super chonky. Space heaters are a little cheaper in the upfront cost, but I think the monthly cost, not so much. They say the cost of running, I don't know how they would measure it. I guess probably in pure BTUs, but they say that gas is roughly 20-25% the cost of electric, resistive electric. And he was telling me that if mini splits, he goes, they can now do about 4.25. So for every 1 watt of electricity you put in, you get 4.25 watts of heat out of it versus straight up resistive electric. But he's like, you're still better off with gas. You know, although he said my town is one of the lower ones around because he does those calculations. He goes, your town, this other town. He goes, there's a few towns that are pretty good. He goes, you have one of the better rates. So he goes, you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know, doing electric, but he goes, it's still not nearly as cheap as gas. Oh, thank you, Overlord. Merry Xmas, SFB. Thanks for all the great content this year. Glad you're not freezing your tushy anymore. So am I. I tell you, that Monday morning, that was pretty rough. You know, when you wake up, it's like, I think it was like 51 in my room. And that's an ice cold friggin' floor. And you're like, God effing damn it. And that's with the little space heater on. And because it was like 8 degrees out. And we were just cranking them up in the bathrooms. Right? That alone just you have a place you can just go and try and warm up. Warming up in our friggin' cars. Oh, God, it sucked. It sucked being friggin' cold. I know, right? It was almost 60. It was in the, I think it hit like 58.9. I'm like, of course it did. But at least it's a little cooler today, you know. What's the schedule for the rest of the year? Well, certainly the live shows will still go, but I don't think any produced videos this week. This was the first Saturday in a long time that I didn't make my Monday video. Normally I would make it today. I would turn the attic system on like Sunday morning, copy all the files over, and then Sunday night do the rough timeline, set up, get all the clips lined up, get the extra audio files taken out, just get everything ready for editing like the next day. There's a lot of administrative work you have to do like right out of the gate. And then, edit it Monday morning and put it out by, I to put it out at like noon. I know, God, it's 8:59 already. It kind of flew by tonight. Yeah, thanks, speaker. Yeah. Yeah, no, Money Guitar has been a great success. It comes back January 19th, right before I head out to NAMM. And there you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap tonight up. Thank you so much for hanging out. Super extra thanks. There's so many people who contributed tonight. I really appreciate that. That is super generous. I'm looking your way, Tony. And Ogre Lord. And we have a whole bunch of new members. Welcome to all new members. And we will do it all again in a week. I still do the Saturday shows, but I don't think I'm going to be doing a produced video for a little bit. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a year-end thing or something. We'll see how my timing goes. But now that the furnace is in, it's taken a lot of pressure off. Because I had to prep to get that area ready to put the new furnace in. So I'm just glad it's over and it's all in. And, you just move ahead. I do detect it. It's not too late to whip it. To whip it good. All right. I'm off. You guys have a wonderful week. Merry Christmas to everybody. By the time I see you, Christmas will be over. So, there you have it. You know what? I might even publish the pop version because I like the pop version so much. I'm just going to, I'll probably publish later on the Suno, just the Suno video of it, the lyrics video. I'll publish it to Shorts. So if you want to check out the pop one, I'll lay that on you when I'm done here. And there you have it. You guys have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you on Saturday. And we can all commiserate about the shit we got for Christmas. Sounds about right. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you in a week. Later.